What is up, YouTube? I am back again with another Hot Topics in the Hot Tub. We are answering questions from Instagram from not as long ago as the last time. I actually asked Instagram a couple days ago and I wrote down a bunch of questions. So here we go. Let's get right to it. Okay, what are my thoughts? Well, this is a rough one. What are my thoughts on Ozempic or any of those things? Okay. I believe that when losing weight, it is really about the 5 components of fitness. I am not about pushing medication. Back in the day, I have a really sad story. I might have told this on here before, where I had a 16-year-old girl that when I was the fitness manager in Bally's, came into the gym and she said my doctor recommended a prescription fat burner. Said I had to lose weight and I just didn't feel like it was right. And I was like, this girl has got a really good head on her shoulders. And she said, and I didn't feel it, and I just came in here, and now me and my mom want to get signed up for me for some personal training. So great. But I think people are so quick to look for the easy fix, and yeah, I mean it works, but I think what most people find is that something that you want to be on? Listen, I haven't done a lot of research on it. Is that something that you have to be on forever? Is it something that you just use to lose the weight and then you stop? But I think the biggest thing here is most of the time when people are overweight, it could be their upbringing. I don't believe in genetics. I don't believe that you are genetically overweight. I do believe that you can lose weight. I believe that kids that are overweight because their parents are overweight and they're in a house where they're eating garbage food all the time. So I believe that the way to lose weight is figuring out what's going on up here, figuring out what the emotional connection to food is, figuring out what your why is, finding your discipline, not your motivation, and doing it with the 5 components of fitness, believing that you can do it. And even if you're struggling a little bit in the beginning, that's normal, but ultimately in the back of your goal, even if you have to mind F yourself into believing it, I will lose weight, or I will be healthy, or I will get to my goal, whatever it is. Then nutrition, following a nutrition plan, resistance training, and I don't care if the goal is 100 pounds or 5 pounds or recomp. I always put resistance training before cardio and recovery. And recovery could be yoga, which I am doing today. It could be body work, which I am also doing today. It could be hot tub, which I am also doing today. It could be meditation, which I also did today. So recovery is many different things. Recovery is also taking your days of rest. I do not believe, and I don't care if you're a guy, bodybuilder, female, trying to put on weight, whatever it is, you need to give yourself days of rest. So there is not one of my clients that are doing any more than 5 days a week of training. So 5 days a week of training and 2 days off from the weights. So that is how I feel about that. That was brief. Okay. What do I love about being a coach? Okay. So I actually had a coaching call with one of my clients, and the reason we had the coaching call was because she had said to me, Jen, I think I need to stop because I feel like I'm bothering you and I'm not really 100% following it 100%. So I said, let's do a call. And she was sometimes sending her check-in and only when it was 100%, and then there were days where she was missing because she was on the daily check-in program, and days where she was missing it. So I got on the phone with her, and this is what I love about coaching. I don't want you to have bad days, but I am so much more inspired to critique the check-ins that are a hot mess. Again, I want my clients to succeed. I want them to follow the plan 100%. But I am more, okay, so here's how I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I love, as a coach, that I get the opportunity to change the dynamic of somebody's day, week, or life, okay? What I mean by that is, if somebody's having a great day and they follow the plan, great, I love that, of course, that's what I want. But a client that is having a holy hot mess, or had a holy hot mess of a day, and right now, this next day, I'm about to critique their check-in, and they sent it to me, and they did the emotional work, because I give all my clients emotional work to do when they slip up, what they have to answer a few questions, because again, I'm trying this whole Ozempic thing, I'm trying to find out what the root is. I'm trying to have them detach. A lot of the times when they go off plan, it's a distraction. Like, you're not, and I've talked about this before, you're not craving sweets, you're craving affection, love, appreciation, acknowledgement. That's what you're really craving. Okay, so what I get the opportunity to do as a coach daily and just in general is help somebody get out of their own head, get out of their own way, give up. So when a client has a bad day, the next day they're feeling like crap about it. They feel guilty. They probably have a stomach ache also. I can't take that away. But I have the dynamic the next day to do what I call PCP, praise, correct, praise. I praise them for being honest with me. Then we do some work together. I might give them an exercise to do or whatnot. And then I tell them to forgive themselves and learn the lesson. There was a meme that I saw on Instagram the other day that successful people fail more than unsuccessful people. And that's real. Like, successful people are the people that fail and learn and get up. Fail, learn, get up. Fail, learn, get up. Unsuccessful people fail and stay down. And that's what you really have to wrap your mind around when you're trying to get to a goal and doing something that you've never done, learning something new that you've never really invested the time to learn. And that's, I pride myself on being a very education-based program also. So when somebody slips, I am making them feel better while they're down for a moment, and then changing the dynamic of the next day. And then that one slip doesn't turn into 2, 3, 4, and 5 days in a row. So this is what I love about being a coach. I love the text messages that I get from clients. I'm in the doctor and I was pre-diabetic and I'm not anymore. I'm in the doctor and I was on medication and I'm not anymore. I'm in the dressing room and I'm wearing a size that I haven't seen since I was 16 and I'm in my 50s. And these are all real things. Like 50-year-old clients that are running circles around 20-year-olds. Like just everything. I got a promotion at work and I know that it 100% has to do with the discipline that I've learned from being in your program. And that's why I also call myself a life coach as well as a health coach, because a lot of the stuff that I teach bleeds into life. So like people come to me, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds, but I'm going to change the dynamic of your life. How to deal with stress, how to sleep better, all these other things. And then the bonus is that you look better, because that's what you want. So that's what I love about being a coach. All right. Okay, as a coach, what do you love about the training lifestyle clients as opposed to bodybuilders? So I don't mind training people that want to bodybuild. I have a couple clients, guys and girls, that want to put on size or recomp or whatnot. But I will never coach anybody for the stage. It's not what I specialize in, and I don't want to expend energy coaching somebody for 12 weeks. I want to expend energy on people's lives that I can change. I don't want to coach somebody, whether you compete for the right reasons or the wrong, which a lot of people don't compete for the wrong, but I don't want to coach somebody that's miserable, that, you know, once you get closer and closer to the end of prep, the quality of life is pretty shit. Pardon my French, even though I don't think shit is French. That's why I don't compete. I mean, I never really cared about competing. I did it, the first time I ever did it was 8 months after I gave birth to my first son, to show women that you can get in shape after having a baby. Then I did it 2 years later, which was like a few months after we opened up our own business, that you can own a business and have a child and still be in shape. And then fast forward, and then I just competed because, you know, the last time I competed to get my pro card at 46 was Jay Cutler. He said to me, I know that you're not a competition coach, prep coach, and he goes, but you're an inspiration to women or people in general. At 46 years old, 45 years old, look at what you look like. So he goes, I think you literally look like you already are a pro. You might as well put that ahead of your name. Which, if you notice, if you follow me on Instagram, it's in the description. I don't have it at the top. I didn't change my name to IFBB Pro Jen Aguirre because I don't care about that. I really do wish that nowadays people would recognize the NASM, ISSA, NASM CPT, NASM pre and postnatal, older adult, all the many certifications I have as a personal trainer that I've had for 25 years, instead of just IFBB Pro. Like, at the end of the day, IFBB Pro just means that I know how to take directions from a coach. It doesn't mean that I'm qualified to coach you. So it is what it is. But I don't want to coach bodybuilders. I don't want to coach anybody for the stage. I want to coach lifestyle people. I want to impact people's lives. Long term, like I said, I don't want to coach somebody for 12 weeks. I want to coach somebody for 12 months. I have 7 clients that have been with me for almost 16, in January, it'll be 16 years. I have 3 people that have been with me for over a decade. A lot of the clients that I train in the studio have been with me since I've been in Vegas. That's what I want. I mean, I will say, I don't want you to stay with me forever, but if you do, great. Like, that's why I say education. Like, I don't want you to need me, but like, I had a guy client that he was with me for 8 years. He lost 78 pounds in the first 7 months of being with me, and he stayed with me for 8 years on daily check-ins. He traveled a lot for work, and he did it for the positivity and the accountability, and he maintained that for 8 years. Okay, moving on. Okay, no to that one. Not even gonna answer no question, but love watching your videos and helping me get back into the gym. Oh, you're welcome. Good, I'm glad. You know, I will say, over the past couple weeks or so, I have gotten a lot of people that have sent me messages saying, you have no idea how much you inspire me, or you have no idea the impact you have, or I come to your page every day right before I'm about to go to the gym. And one of them was like, literally, it doesn't matter if you post a reel or a motivational picture or whatever, like, it just like knowing your drive and what you've come from and that you keep pushing through every day. And I remember that message, and I remember like voice noting back to them. It was just a fan, but it made me cry. So thank you for that. Somebody wanted to see more bare feet. Okay, there you go. Can you do more work video? Oh, okay, no, sorry, same person. Barefoot. Would I do a collaboration with Fafa Fitness? I don't even know who that is, so no. And here's the thing, I don't typically like to do a lot of collaborations. Like, I love that I work out with my friend Brittany. Like, she is my Friday partner. Kelly, Andy trains me on Tuesday, and Kelly, Andy's girlfriend, is my Tuesday partner. Like, I love my people. I don't train on Mondays anymore because I'm only going to train upper body 1 day a week. I don't want to get any bigger. I don't necessarily want to get really smaller. But I am going to go into the gym because I don't like having 3 days away from the gym, iron therapy. So I'm going to start going in and doing core, and then I have another thing that I'm doing that I'm not ready to talk about yet. And then Thursdays, I sometimes train by myself, and sometimes I'll train and film with somebody. And then Sundays, I will most of the time be by myself, but sometimes I'll train. So I don't really like doing a lot of collaborations with like random people. I like to keep my staple, and I'll never, ever, ever train with, let's say, like a fan, or somebody's like, oh, I'm in town, I'd love to work out with you. I don't know anything about the way that you train, so, I mean, and I don't say this to be like a douche. If I do know, like, the type of person that you are and the way that you train, and maybe you're somebody that's really active on social media, and I see that you're a bad motherfucker, and then you're like, hey, let's get in a workout when I come in town, I'm gonna be like, hell yeah. So, but again, I don't really typically do a lot of that. And I also do like my days by myself. Do I ever want to compete in the Olympia? No. I don't ever want to compete again. Oh, here we go with the Jets. Why? Oh, this is a good one. And wow, for somebody to like really do their research. Why do I still have my ex-husband's last name? Okay, so there's a couple things. My maiden last name is Russo. Both my parents passed away last year. I disowned my dad, which that's a whole story, probably about 7 or 8 years before he passed away, which was also a few years before my divorce. There was no way that after my divorce, I wanted to go back to Jennifer Russo or Jen Russo. I didn't want to take my dad's name again. My mom's maiden name is Pepe. There's no way that I'm taking Jennifer Pepe. But the main thing is that I branded myself as Jen Aguirre. While I was married, even though we have and had our studio, our brick and mortar location in California at the time, and then now here in Vegas, I also started doing online coaching. So we have Aguirre Fitness LLC, and then I also have Jen Aguirre Fitness LLC. So there's no way that I was going to change my last name. So I asked my ex-husband, would you mind, since I branded myself, if I keep the last name? I will say I'm currently very single, but when I do find my person, I do want to get married again, I will take their last name. I don't want to stay Jen Aguirre for the rest of my life. And in videos, I will acknowledge both. So I will say, hey, this is Jen Smith, formerly known as Jen Aguirre, or I will say this is formerly known as Jen Aguirre, but now happily married Jen Smith. I don't know a Smith. So wow, thank you for that question. Okay, I don't think I've ever talked about that publicly. What do your sons want to be when you get older? Okay, same person, by the way. My older son, after high school, he's a senior now. He is going to a trade school for personal trainers, which I love, because for me, yes, I got my certification through NASM, but the first school I got certified through was a 3-month course in the East Coast. I'm the kind of learner that I need hands-on, in person. So NASM just had like weekend workshops and everything was online. So I took this course. So ECA, ECITS, East Coast Instructor Training School. If you're on the East Coast, I highly recommend them. But there's a trade school out here that it's a course that you take. I think it's 8 months. And at the end of it, you are an NASM certification. So they are linked with NASM. And then he wants to be a personal trainer with us, and then he eventually wants to buy into the business. It's funny that you asked this, because I just asked my almost 11-year-old the other day. I'm like, do you know what you want to be when you get older? And I don't know if he understands the concept of that. Like, I kind of explained to him. If you don't know, he's autistic, very high functioning. But like, I asked him, when you get older, you are going to have a job. Like, mommy has a job. I'm a trainer. And then he's like, yeah, you're also a YouTuber. I'm like, yeah, but you're not going to be a YouTuber. But he doesn't know. So, I mean, he's 10. So, but that's it. Thank you for that question. How old am I? My Instagram handle is my date of birth, 7877. I'm going to be 49. Holy shit. Did I change up my training? Yes, I kind of went over that. Monday core and something else. Tuesday quads with Andy. Wednesday off. Thursday back and shoulders. Friday with Brittany we now are doing just quads and glutes, no hamstrings. And then Sunday, heavy quads, heavy hamstrings. And the only thing that I want to start doing is hitting like one glute exercise after Andy. And I've typically just been running out of time with this decision that I made 2 weeks ago. So I haven't done it the past 2 weeks. If you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self? That's a great question. Shit. I don't know. I don't want to cry. I'm like 2 seconds away from crying. I don't know. I just tell her that everything's going to be okay. That's really it. I'd probably just give her a hug, because she was not good with hugs. She was not good with affection at all until 7 years ago. But I would definitely attempt to give her a hug and tell her everything's gonna be okay. Okay. How do I stay positive through all the negativity? I read the book, The Four Agreements. If you have ever read my story on my website, I should update it. But I left home when I was 16. I was raped when I was 16. I had a nervous breakdown at 23. I was in the hospital. And then I got out of the hospital. This was right before the Twin Towers, which I was there. And that was when I finished school for certification and started working at New York Sports Club at the front desk in November of 2001. And then by April, after finishing the course, I was on the floor as a personal trainer. But the question, when I got out of the hospital, the first book they told me to read was The Four Agreements. So, one of the four agreements is don't take it personal. It's something that I had to learn even about my childhood. My dad called me stupid my whole life. My dad didn't graduate high school. So it took me a really long time to believe that I was a smart woman. And still sometimes it pops in there every now and then, and that I just gotta quiet the noises. I believe in negating every negative with three positives. So one of the things that I would do is anytime I would have any negative internal dialogue, I would quiet it. Like if I said, "Oh my God, you're so stupid," I would be like, "No, you're not. You're smart," and then I would have to give myself 2 other compliments. But that is one of the things. And then recognizing that a lot of other people's negativity is their shit, not mine. A lot of the times if you're genuinely a happy person, you will never, ever put down anybody else. So anybody that has that quality that's gonna expend energy to put negativity to me, it's just because maybe the success that I've had with, what I look like, or my life, or coaching, or my family, or training, or whatever it is, reminds them of their failure. Like I've even told my clients many, many, many times, like your success, a lot of the times if you have haters in your life, your success just reminds your family and friends of their lack of discipline. So like you staying on track, oh, what's the big deal? Why can't you just eat? Why can't you just eat something? Why can't you just mind your business and allow me to just be in my space and you be in yours? And if you're not disciplined enough to bring your food with you, so your success makes them uncomfortable. Your discipline makes them uncomfortable. So allow them to just sit in their uncomfortableness and don't let them make you uncomfortable. So that's something that I teach my clients. But that's how I get through the negativity. Sometimes it's overwhelming. I still to this day get a massive amount of messages every day in my inbox and on my Instagram and on my YouTube every day. Not a day goes by that I don't. Sometimes when I open it and I see, because I try to read comments and stuff, if I see, I just try to get out of it real quick. Sometimes I delete it. If it's on Instagram, if I see it, I'll click on it and just hold it down and delete it. So that's how I get through that. And when did I start training? And that's it. So I started training when I was 16 years old. I've told this story before. I was at, oh my God. Hold on. God damn it. Put my elbow on it. So, 16, I'm walking the boardwalk at Long Beach, and I saw this woman, and she was jacked. And back 32 years ago, you didn't see a lot of women, like everybody's a muscle mommy these days, or there are a lot more women that are into fitness than 32 years ago. So I walked up to her and I go, "Oh my God, I love your physique." And there was one girl that I went to high school with that she played like almost every sport. And she had like really nice shoulders, I remember. She was in my class. Her name is Jen also. And I remember, it's so funny because a girl that I went to school for personal training with, her name was Jenna. We became good friends and started working out together. But whatever. So, and this was when I was like 23, when I got my certification. But whatever, getting to the point. So I went up to her and I said to her, "Oh my God, how old are you?" And she said, "I'm 71. And I said, "I am going to look like you when I am your age." And I went back to school and I asked my friend Jeremy, who I literally just saw recently after like, I don't know, 20 years. He came to my mom's funeral, which, God, thank you so much. And I trained his sister for a while, who was also in my sister's grade. Well, ADD in full effect. But I went back and I said, "Jeremy," and he was very into working out. I said, "I want you to teach me how to work out." And he was the first person that really got me into it. And then I on and off stayed with it, and then life took a shit for me for a while. But that's it. That's where it all started for me. And then when I was 23, I wanted to be a personal trainer. I really decided I didn't want to be in the restaurant industry anymore. And then that whole story is on my website. I was dating somebody. We were both in the restaurant industry, and I said I wanted to be a trainer, and he said he'd be embarrassed to admit that I was a trainer. And then that relationship ended with me getting my ass kicked, and whatever. So I hate to end on a bad note, but you know, life sometimes deals you some shitty cards, but it's all a matter of the way that you play them. And my life could have gone a totally different direction, but now I have two very smart young men, incredible kids. My youngest son, Amir, has changed the dynamic of the kind of woman I am when it comes to affection, and really gave me peace, I will say. God, I get to wake up every day and do something that I love. I am really blessed that I get to change people's lives. I have a house. I have good people in my life. Oh shit. And that's it. So we ended on a better emotional note. So you are interested in coaching, please go to the description, go to my website. You can read my story as to why I'm so effing emotional, which again I have to update, and then you can go to the success stories, and 75% of the people that are on that website are still clients of mine, and I am very fucking proud of that. You can read, and then you can go to the contact page and fill that out, and then I will contact you. So I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.